Hey, I think this is a good time to take a moment and reflect on this chapter in our lives right now. With us being in the midst of COVID and having dramatic adjustments happen to our lives, naturally some negative thoughts have come to fruition and developed worries in our lives, specifically right now for our academic approaches, being stuck at home, being forced to go onto online instruction. Now, have you taken time to think about the worries that have developed over time and how you feel towards online school, towards the work you've been doing online and having to cope with it? And has this affected your view in a negative way towards your day to day, towards your life? Getting stuck into this vicious cycle was not your option. And it can cause us to want to avoid having to deal with these difficulties, and this can be just dealing with the online class or just creating ourselves a negative approach and negative perspective towards our online classes. So our goal really will be to change that view, change that dynamic and how we approach these online classes, how we approach our academic schedule right now, and how we feel. Whether you've been dealing with it for the past year, for the past 6 months, if you're new to it this semester, there's always time to make an adjustment and just make that change so you can feel more positive and better about yourself, and just build your own confidence approaching the semester and approaching the classes online. And for any classes that may be down the line that you have to do online, you're ready for it. You're prepared to build off your confidence and approach whatever difficulties that you may be facing. So let's just focus for a second and recognize that the worry in our lives will divert our focus. And it's not easy to recognize when we're feeling this worried, and sometimes it is easy to recognize it. But to recognize this bump in the road in our lives, the hard part is to stop and analyze what's going on in front of us. Are we asking for help? Are we just bottling up this frustration, this discomfort? A good way to approach it, a good way to work on analyzing these issues and trying to make a small change, is to start looking at what we feel comfortable developing and changing in our own lives. Whether it's talking to somebody or talking to a classmate about our frustration, whether it's talking to our professors and just letting them know how frustrated we are, and just not trying to take false responsibility of putting all of this on our shoulders and feeling like, oh, if I don't do this correctly or if I don't do this now, I'm not a good student. I'm not going to do well this semester. This can really leave us into a negative space. So let's take a moment and think, how can I change my view on school? How can I change my view on online classes? How can I let go of what we don't have control over? And just really recognize that this type of change, it does not happen overnight. And this change is going to be a process. It's going to be rigorous, but it does not have to be bad. And you're going to learn that these skills that we learn over time can definitely help us with other aspects in our lives. You are taking control of laying the first brick in your life right now of making a change and building that confidence within yourself, and just making a change right now towards something such as online school, and creating a new positive reframing towards your life and just finding a more comfortable area for yourself. Now, let's take a moment and let's take a deep breath. Taking this deep breath, let's just think of all the worries and just breathe it in and let it out. Imagine taking this deep breath as if we were picking up all our worries and just opening the trash can and throwing them away. But we're not throwing them away to avoid them. We're throwing them away because we know that we can replace them with something better, something to make us feel better today. Let's take another breath and just imagine what we're replacing them with. We're replacing it with a confidence in change. We're replacing it with confidence in the belief of ourselves. And just the idea that you know you can do it, that you are making this hard work happen because you choose to. And just feel the shoulders relieve from the stress and this discomfort for the moment. And just take into the moment that this will be some work, but it's work you're looking forward to. Because, like many other assignments, this work is going to make you feel better, feel happier, and know that the work was done by yourself, by you. And I just want to end with saying thank you for taking this time to start on making this development and this change for yourself and create a new positive frame for your life and for your perspective on this semester, on school, and adapting and expanding it through anything else you feel may help you throughout your life. If this tool's not for you, at least you gave it a chance.